something, you rejoice when you're called to do that. When you're anointed to do something, you recognize when you're called to do that. Before I go on, let me give an example of this. When you walk into an environment, and all of a sudden you see all these different things that you know you can improve, and you're asking yourself questions, I wonder why they're doing it this way. I wonder why they're doing it that way when we could produce 5 times as much. That means your anointing is being activated by that environment. And as a result of your anointing being activated by that environment, that means that God's called you to that place to change it. He's called you to that place to be salt in that place. He's called you to that place to influence that place. All right, so 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 23, this is when David started working for Saul. And Saul, David had already killed Goliath by this time. 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 23, it says, and Saul's servant spake these words in the ears of David. And David said, seemeth it to you a light thing to be a king's son-in-law, seeing that I am a poor man and lightly esteemed? All right, so David is basically saying, you know, this is a heavy matter. This is a serious matter. I don't necessarily have money to be the king's son-in-law. He said, so how is this going to work? Because they told David that he can be Saul's son-in-law, marry his daughter. Verse 24, and the servants of Saul told him, saying of this matter, and Saul, verse 25, said, thus shall you say to David, the king desireth not a dowry. I don't desire money, but 100 foreskins of the Philistines to be avenged of the king's enemies. But Saul thought to make David fall by the hand of the Philistines. So he's thinking, if there's anything that will cause him to die, it's me telling him to go to war and kill 100 people. All right, so he told him to go to war and kill 100 people. Now, you would think that David would fall out and be like, what? What do you mean kill 100 people? You'd think David would be concerned. You'd think he would even be like, well, forget the whole thing. All right, so and when verse 26, it says, when his servants told David these words, it pleased David well. It pleased David well to be the king's son-in-law, and the days were not expired. You mean to tell me they told David, you have to go to war, and not only do you have to go to war, you have to kill 100 people. And wait, David was worried about the money, but he's not worried that he has to go kill 100 people. It actually pleases him. It actually makes him excited. Why is that? Well, David was anointed to kill people. And not only was he anointed to kill people, he killed people extremely efficiently. So much so that when he came back, he didn't kill 100 people. He killed 200 people. He came back with 200 foreskins. So when you go into something and things that make people like just shudder, like there's some people that just, I can't even stand the look of blood. And when you see someone else just like working in blood and doing stuff in blood and hacking stuff off, doing all these different types, there's a chance they're anointed to do something in that field. I know my wife, myself, she was administrating something. She was helping out with the wedding and everything. And the person that was over it, she was like just pulling her hair out and everything. She was like, oh, all these details, all these logistics, I don't know how. And she was looking at my wife, she was like, you got all the logistics and everything? And I was like, oh yeah, I got that, I got it all set up. And they're like, are you enjoying this? Do you like doing stuff like this? And I was like, oh yeah, I can plan a wedding all the time. And she was like, looking like stunned, like, what's making me feel nauseous just about thinking about all these things? She's enjoying. When they told David that he didn't have to pay money, all he had to do was go kill 100 people, it said it pleased him well. Why is that? Because he was anointed to battle. He was anointed for war. So much so that when he came back with 100 foreskins, Saul was like just shocked. All right, so it says that, let's drop down actually to verse 29. Verse 29. It says, and Saul was yet the more afraid of David, When he came back with 200 instead of 100, Saul thought that David would have lost his life just trying to get 100. But when he didn't lose his life but came back with 200, that made his head go boop, tilt, like he was stunned. Not only was he stunned, but it made him almost like amazed. He was more afraid of David. The things that we're anointed to do that will get attention, that will transfer power into our hands, God anoints us to do that so that it'll stun people. So that there's no doubt that when it comes to this, I don't care if listen, I don't care if he has these weird beliefs that we don't understand. I don't care if he always has to be off on Sundays to go to church. I don't care. I don't even care if you caught him praying over his meal. When it comes to this matter right here, we need them over this. There is no one else better that can do this but them. So much so that people will be stunned. It says that he was afraid. He was afraid. When he came back, he didn't expect him to come back with 100 foreskins. But when he came back, he wasn't killed. But when he came back double, he was afraid. He was like, oh man, if he came back, if he was able to kill 200 people, what are we going to do with them? If they're able to walk in an anointing this powerful, it doesn't matter if I don't like them or not. This works whether I don't like them or not. What are we going to do with them? All right, so verse 30. Let's drop down to verse 30. Then the princes of the Philistines went forth, and it came to pass after they went forth that David behaved himself more wisely than all the servants of Saul, so that his name was much said by. That means people were talking about him. Why do you think it's so important that he behaves himself wisely? Because when you're elevated in this level of anointing, that's when humility is most important. That's when it's important that you walk in humility. That's when it's important that you behave yourself wisely. Because it says his name was much said by. People were talking about him. Saul was trying to kill him, but people were talking about him because of the anointing he walked in. And David knew what he was good at. David wasn't trying to do things he wasn't good at. He knew what he was good at because in Psalms 144, verse 1, he even said, bless the Lord my strength, which teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight. He knew he was anointed to kill people. He knew he was anointed to kill people. He was thanking God for teaching him how to fight. So much so that he said, no, the Lord has taught my hands to fight. He's taught my fingers for war. I know how to do this. And not only do I know how to do this, I can do this extremely well. So much so that Saul was terrified of him. He was stunned. When you walk into an environment and you do things that people are struggling with to just do it mediocre or average, and you can do this in your sleep. You can do this with one hand tied behind your back, one eye closed while you're rolling down a flight of stairs. That will stun people. Why is that? Because they can't fathom how you're able to do this. They can't understand how you're able to walk in this level of authority. This level of anointing works whether people like you or not. Now, when you see that you walk in a certain level of anointing, then you want to pray to the Lord and ask him, what is it that you have me do to even enhance this? What type of training do you want me to go to enhance this? All right, so now, back to Daniel. We saw that Daniel was different, and he wouldn't eat the king's meat. But at the same time, they also noted that they were 10 times better than everyone else. 10 times better than everyone else. All right, so let's turn back to Daniel chapter 2. Daniel chapter 2, we're going to pick up in verse 1. In the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep brake from him. Then the king commanded to call the magicians, astrologers, and sorcerers, and the Chaldeans to show the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king. They came, they were invited to be part of this solution to solve the king's problem. By this time, Daniel and his friends have already proven they're 10 times smarter. So, why no Daniel? Why no people? Why aren't they invited to be part of this solution? Because people don't like them. Because they're different. They already proved they were different when they didn't eat the king's meat. And Jesus already said in Luke 6:22, he said, blessed are you when people separate themselves from you for my sake. They were separated because they were different. So they weren't invited. So, verse 3. And the king said unto him, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know the dream. And he not only said, my spirit was troubled, he goes on to say, I don't remember the dream. I don't remember what the dream was. So not only do you all have to tell me what this dream means, I want you to tell me what it was that I dreamed. They're like, we can't do that. They're like, there is nobody that asks their people to not only tell them the dream, but then decipher the dream. We can't do, there is no one that asks people to do this. All right, so then verse 10, they said, it is not with man. They said, there is not a man upon the earth that can show the king's matter. Therefore, there is no king, no ruler that asks such things of any magician or astrologer or Chaldean. They're like, you're being unfair. We can't tell you what the dream was. All right, so here's the king's response. All right, so it says, it is a rare thing that the king required, for there is none other that can show it before the king except the gods whose dwelling is not with the flesh. So this is their response to him. They're saying, we can't do that. There's no man on earth that can do what you're asking. Verse 12, for this cause the king was very angry, very furious, and commanded to destroy all the wise men of Babylon. I'm going to make this statement here. The more extreme the need, the greater the level of influence. The more extreme the need, the greater the level of power that will be transferred to you. Why is that? Because no one else can do it but you. No one else is anointed to do that but you. And this type of anointing, this type of power works whether people like you or not. We already see that they weren't even included in this. They weren't even asked to come before the king. All right, so he says, that's it. I'm killing everybody. Verse 13, the decree went forth that the wise men should be slain. Now they're looking for Daniel. It says, and they sought Daniel and his fellows to be slain. They didn't ask them to be part of the solution, but they expect them to suffer with all the things that's happening to the rest of the wise men. And granted, as believers in this world, we will not be asked to be part of the solution sometimes, but yet still the world will expect us to suffer with some of their bad decisions. This isn't so. We don't have to do this. All right, so statement that I want to make is recognize your anointing. Recognize what you're anointed to do. Don't try to be like other people. Be the best you that you can be. When you're the best you that you can be, that means you're flowing in what God has called you to do. Amen? All right, so they're looking for Daniel now, whereas they weren't looking for him before. They never asked Daniel to even supply anything. They didn't even ask his opinion, but now that it's time to kill people, now they're looking for him. All right, so verse 14, it says, Daniel answered with counsel and wisdom to Arioch, the captain of the king's guard, which was gone forth. Verse 15, and he answered and said to Arioch, why is the decree so hasty from the king? So he said, why is this so, this is the first time I'm finding out about this. Why do I got to be put to death now? So he's basically saying, let me have some time, and then I'll go ahead and take care of it. I'll go ahead and handle it. All right, so let's drop down to where the power was transferred. I'm going to go ahead and turn to verse 26. All right, so Daniel comes before the king. He's only one that can do it. Daniel's not in front of the king because they like him. Daniel's not in front of the king because he's well known and popular. He's in front of the king because the king is about to put everyone to death. So this is birthed out of a need. Again, the anointing is triggered by the need of the people that you're in front of. So in verse 26 says, the king answered and said to Daniel, whose name was Belshazzar, art thou able to make known unto me the dream which I have seen and the interpretation thereof? No apology for not inviting him earlier. No, nice to see you. go house you and your family. He said, are you able to do it or aren't you? Are you able to make interpretation of the dream? Are you able to produce? And you know, as believers, God tells us, step out on faith and I'll show you. Step out on faith and I'll anoint you. But the world is, do it first and I'll believe you. Do this thing first and I'll believe you. Our anointing actually is a demonstration of God's power in our life. The king is saying, are you able to do it? Can you do it? Verse 27, let me go ahead and turn over there, because this is good. Verse 27, Daniel chapter 2, verse 27. Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king hath demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers show unto the king. Verse 28, but there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets and make known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. Thy dream and the vision of the head upon thy bed are these. He said, man, can none of these people do what you're asking them to do? Because it can't be done by men. But there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets. That God in heaven that revealeth secrets is still revealing secrets today. The only difference is he's not in heaven anymore. He's in you and me, and he's in every other believer that has confessed Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. That's what abide means. Jesus said, you know what? Me and my Father, we're going to come make our abode in you. We're going to come live in you. That's the same God in heaven that reveals secrets. So he said, there's a God in heaven that reveals secrets. None of these people are going to be able to meet this need for you. Only the God in heaven that reveals secrets. And then he tells him what it is. He tells him not only his dream, but then he also tells them what the dream means. All right, so he does this. And just like I saw the transfer of power with David, let's go ahead and see the transfer of power with Daniel. Let's go to same chapter, Daniel chapter 2, let's drop down to verse 46. Verse 46. Then King Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face and worshiped Daniel. Wait a minute. I thought the king was the one that's worshipped. But here we see that the king fell on his face and worshiped Daniel. Here we see the transfer of power. And then he commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet odors unto Daniel. Wait a minute. Daniel wasn't even invited. Daniel wasn't even asked to be part of the solution. But then when it was time to kill everybody, that was the first time they even thought of Daniel. But now he's gone from that to them transferring authority and power into his hands. We're talking about power to reign by the anointing. Now again, we're going to talk about all the other ways that power is transferred into our hands, but today we're talking about power transferred to our hands when people don't like you, regardless of whether people like you or not. Here it says that the king fell on his face, worshiped Daniel, commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet odors unto him. Verse 47, then the king answered unto Daniel and said, of a truth it is that your God is a God of gods and a Lord of kings and a revealer of secrets, seeing thou couldst reveal this secret. Then the king made Daniel a great man. Power is transferred to him. Power is given to him. Not because they liked him, not because he was popular, not because he got along to get along. We already saw that he wouldn't even eat the king's meat. No, this power is transferred to him because they needed him. When someone needs you, that power is transferred to you. Whether they like you or not, they may not be able to stand you, but that power is transferred to you. Well, some of you may say, well, how does this work? Well, you remember when I was talking about that project manager that I was able to help hire and everything like that, because he was a subject matter expert. He only knew this one specific software. Well, as that project went along, they noticed that they were having issues because that's all he knew. So they came to me and they were like, well, John, you were